To start off this next video, let's look at the most well-known, which is the stock market. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Ideally, you want to go for dividend yielding stocks. This allows for cash flow so you win whether the market is up or down. Warren Buffett advises to look at stocks as pieces of a business and to research how the company operates if you're going to invest in it. Just like if you were to buy a rental property, you would look into the specifics of that property. Why wouldn't you look into the business that you're buying a piece of? You should also read or listen to the book Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Warren Buffett said this was his start to investing and the best book he's ever read. Even though it's an older book, its message is still timeless as long as the stock market is still around. This book is a must if you are serious about stock market investing. His whole method is around value-based purchases. Statistically, markets tend to last 3 to 5 years. A bull market is when the entire market is going up, while a bear market is when everything's going down. If you invest in stocks, you need to know where you are at in the market. Warren Buffett says all boats rise with the tide. You find out who's swimming naked when the tides turn back. In Principles by Ray Dalio, he mentions how he has made his fortune for betting against popular opinion. Because if everyone agrees that the stock is a surefire winner, he says the price reflects this optimism, so it's not a good buy. He also said that the best time to purchase in general is after a crash, because the general opinion is pessimistic, and the prices will be the lowest compared to the actual value of these companies. The best investors sell high to optimists and buy low from pessimists. So buy when the value is there, not just dollar cost average. Everyone knows the phrase buy low and sell high, yet almost no one actually does it because they get caught up in the hype, especially considering that the stock market is at an all-time high as this is being recorded. Buying low is nearly impossible. Buying early, often, and always never gets you the best value on your purchases. The only person who benefits from you always buying is the broker that is selling them, which is why big companies like Merrill Lynch charge you every time you make a trade. The news and analysts are always pitching the new hot stock to keep their world spinning, not to make you money. If you are going to trade, use the free trading app Robinhood, so at least you aren't paying a commission on these trades. And use stop losses to minimize losses. Ray Dalio mentions that all good investors play offensive in order to make money, but at the same time they play defensive to preserve their wealth. He had to lose over $100,000 when he was a new investor to be reminded that there's no guaranteed investment. There are preventative measures, so even if a company you invest in bellies up, you can get out in time to preserve your capital. With any investment, it's good to test around in the market so you see the trends real time before jumping in with your own cash. Whether it's the stock, foreign exchange, or the cryptocurrency market, you can set up mock accounts to practice with fake money. A safer, less commonly known investment is dividend yielding whole life insurance. We will go over a brief overview, but if you want to learn more specific details, down below there is an interview with life insurance professional Dale Clark. Essentially, it's like a high-powered savings account, with a return being way above what any bank offers. As you pay into your policy, you build cash value. This cash value is guaranteed to compound interest with a minimum of 4%, with dividends being paid on top of that. Once the interest and dividends are paid, they are fully guaranteed. This cash value gives you liquidity to get access to it within 2 to 3 business days. The cash value built up is protected from lawsuits and bankruptcy. Also, in light of the 2007 banking crisis, these insurance companies are heavily regulated, which forces them to invest in much safer investments than any bank. Most AAA insurance companies have been around for 150 years. They've paid out during recessions and wars. As long as the US dollar stands, this mitigates risk as close to zero as possible. If you do set up a policy, make sure you set it up with a reputable company with good financials so you get paid the highest dividends. Also make sure that this is mutually held by policyholders so you don't lose any profits to stock investors. Life insurance gives a death benefit to unburden your family for whenever you do pass. The only thing guaranteed in life is death. Most people think that this is the only value for life insurance. However, with this policy, you get benefits during your life also, not just when you pass away. Instead of a death in the family crippling people's finances, this gives a huge amount of freedom and flexibility for everyone still alive. An interesting aspect of the death benefit allows many companies to even tie in their benefit packages for CEOs around policies like this, so that the policy pays for that person's retirement, and when they do pass, the company gets reimbursed based on the size of the policy. Some investing pros like Warren Buffett can even buy other people's expiring policies on the secondary market for 10 or 20% of the death benefit, in order to profit when that person passes away. Notable families like the Rockefellers, as well as even some of the biggest banking entities, are currently using these types of policies. This is one of the main ways they are able to perpetuate wealth throughout the generations. Imagine for a second if every family already had these types of policies in place as the backbone of their family wealth building. It could essentially replace the need for Social Security and create real stability in a very hard time. How much better would your family be off if your family already had policies like this?